Alright, we are live, I guess. Let me just check. So, we left off with a bug yesterday. So, today's first goal would be to fix that bug. I'm just gonna check if this stream is okay. And yep, it seems alright. Alright. So, yeah, let's see what the bug is. So, the bug, as far as I uh, could figure out yesterday, was that my textures here were null, even though they weren't actually. Let's see. So we're passing some shaders here as descriptor data that we're going to update. That is the update call here. Let's check our descriptor data. And as you can see, uh, our textures are actually fine. They're just fine. So let's just put a breakpoint right there, and that is where the actual red texture 6. That is where the uh, bug actually happens. Let me just check the old code and see. I'm just trying to figure out what it is I'm doing wrong here. I'm pretty sure my parameters here are fine. Huh. Maybe it wouldn't hurt just to have this next to you, so we can compare both to each other. Mm, I have no clue why it is so slow. And oh, come on, what the hell is wrong with you now? What just happened? I just found a breakpoint here. Please remake. Oh, okay. There, I got this. I was both running and trying to modify the code. That was why it was doing that. So from what I understand, these should look just the same. That is right. Let's see. The first element's texture. That is what I'm looking for here. How can I actually pin this? Like so. Okay, yeah. Alright. Open that up. not name. Why not name? Alright, so this is the code of interest here. Let's check if that has the same value across these. Alright, that looks the same to me. So this is not the problem, then what is? Texture descriptor set, maybe that is the problem? Let's move inside. Am I passing the index the right parameter here? I believe the size is 6 and that is our data. Let's compare to this 6 and data, and we have descriptor. What is our index? Is 0. That is our descriptor set, and that is our render. So this should be just fine. I don't know what the problem is here. Let's. You're actually saying that update descriptor set null texture right text 6. What does that mean? Do I have a sector here? Validate descriptor parameter p-texture array. Alright. What is that trying to do? Validate textures. Validate descriptor. We're giving them textures. Let's see what the signature of this is. The first one is descriptor, validate descriptor. So here it says that the descriptor is null. Is that what it is saying? Because most definitely is not null. Oh, our array count is wrong here. Where does this array count come from? PM count. Is that something I should be setting? Parameter m count? Because I have not set that, I believe. Ooh, I know what my bug is here. Where is that lambda I just defined here? Okay, this is not my code, this is my code. So, my bug is that I am not constructing this C. So that is uninitialized variable right there. That is causing the bug. Let's take our breakpoints. No need for them. I'm pretty sure that this is gonna work. I didn't. Why is that? Okay, this is another error. This is different error. And of course, this is probably because of the same kind of error. Okay, I got it. here. So these are C structures, these are pods, and pods are not default constructed. So these are virtually uninitialized variables right there. Mismatching update frequency and register space. Four. So we have wrong. Yeah, why haven't we passed it? An update. Yeah, update, blah blah. What is our update frequency for these? Okay, we don't need this code here. So you're just having new problems. I believe that is correct right there. Use skybacks, I don't care about those. So I believe the issue comes from here. And yeah, I believe I have, these are wrong, I believe one of these are, at least. Let me check the original code and see what the proper update frequency is. Okay, yeah, that is a problem. The frame. So I believe since that is that is set in the root signature. Root signatures are updated only once per render, so that is fine. It's alright to update it to set the update frequency to none. But if you're actually using what is it? You're using uniform buffers. Uniform buffers are updated per frame, and that was what the problem was there. That was setting update frequency to none for uniform buffers. Anyways, that got our code to work. So we are now properly initializing. I know that I have some parts of this code copied right from the old example, which is not using my new interface. So let's see what our depth is here. Okay, this is for the resource loader. I'm not going to get into resource loader anytime soon because it's not actually part of the render interface. It is part of the resource loader interface. So I will be getting into that later. So just to get a look at what our render actually does, that is what our render does here. This is the interface for our render. We provide, for example, a sampler descriptor. We add sampler, we get a sampler handle. Then we use that sampler. So this is part of our depth here, because the user doesn't know that the sampler handle is actually of type sampler pointer. So we're going to add it to there. This needs to be done inside the render. So I need to provide proper abstraction for this kind of thing, which is root signature descriptor. Yeah. So probably the root signature descriptor here should be changed to something else, some other structure that actually allows the user not to do these conversions, which are not provided by the interface of my render. So my render does not say anything about this shader handle being of type shader pointer, but I know that because I am writing that interface. So this is kind of implementation leak. My spelling is not good. I literally suck at spelling, so that is probably a dictation error right there. But I don't have a spell checker on this. I really am a little bit distanced with Visual Studio. I've been using Visual Studio Code for almost 3 years now, and I haven't been using that much of Visual Studio itself. So yeah, I'm kind of I've gotten far away from uh, how Visual Studio works. I think Visual Studio Code provides better user experience for me. I don't know. Anyways, yeah, uh, that is some debt that we're going to pay later. This is for the resource loader. It is loading the skybox points, whatever. This is also part of the resource loader. It's loading the uniform buffers. And these are cameras. We're probably going to provide some abstraction for them later as well, but I don't think they actually fit into the render. I'm not sure. I don't know how these interact with the render. I will need to like get to know it a little bit further. Init profiler, that's gonna do that, and I'm gonna wait for all the resources. Okay. This also init input system that we might need to actually abstract that, or maybe not. I don't know how their abstraction is. I'm not sure if it is actually necessary. So it actually could be not necessary. Anyways, that is something for later as well. Wait for our resource to load. That is part of the resource loader. I'm gonna postpone that for later. And here is how we are updating our descriptor sets, which has proper interface for now. So I believe that is the whole thing that we had to do for initialization. Maybe I will later on just do a side-by-side comparison with what the example is doing, just to make sure we're not missing anything. And for now, I'm not using any of these actions, so we're actually not using the input system, which is partly because I don't wanna, uh, I don't want to get to those complexities for now. I just want something to be rendered as soon as possible. And then it is the exit function there. They are the old example is removing everything by hand. My abstraction handles that. I just reset the renderer, which is an optional, which causes the renderer to get distracted if it was constructed. That is. So I don't need to do that. And then we get to this part, the load part. Update draw. Okay, so this is add swap chain. Probably this is going to get into my render interface. Add swap chain, and what does it do? Let's collapse these. Update, we're not looking into that. Draw, we're not looking into that. Get name, we've implemented that. Add depth buffer. So these two are going to be interfaces to my render, which are easy to implement really. I don't really have to do much work there. Unload, probably not going to be implemented. Alright, so let me just check this add swap chain, blah blah. These I'm not going to implement. I'm not providing a virtual joystick. UI is gone as well. This is going to go out the window as well. So I don't think there is much work to do anymore. I just need to implement this. Image count, yeah. That is the part that I am worried about. And graphics cues. That is another point. Yeah, graphics cues. I believe there are multiple graphics queues in that. Maybe not. There's a single graphics queue there, right? Is that it? Oh, so I guess there is a problem in my abstraction. So one of the early things that I implemented was this class here, graphics command, which had a semaphore, a fence, a queue, a pool, and a command unit. That is assuming that each command would need a pool, would need a queue. However, it looks like uh, it doesn't. Not every command needs its pool. We're using the same pool for like 3 commands here. I don't know if that is actually safe. Like, how is that going to work? From what I understand, this queue is used to interact to allow interface between multiple threads. So it is providing the thread safety between the caller thread, which is this, which is our draw function right there, and the thread of the render, which is going to loop through these pools, through these queues and pop commands to execute. So I believe that is doing the thread safety between the caller thread, which is a draw function, and the render thread. And they're using the same pool for that. I am not sure if that is alright. Maybe it is. I don't think they've written about here. But I don't think having your own pool would cause any problems. So I'm going with that because we have the abstraction for it. So our graphics command has a pool, has a fence, has a queue, and a semaphore, whichever we need. So to add swap chain, here we're adding a swap chain. I guess all the information needed to add a swap chain is available inside our render right now. The only thing that we don't have at hand at the moment is this present queue count 1. We're going to put it to 3 maybe because we have 3. Image count, get recommended swap chain format too. So I believe uh, we have whatever we needed here. So present queue. This queue thing is where we're diverging from the example. I am worried about that. I am worried that this divergence would cause us some trouble. That is easy to fix. I'm just not sure if it is right, if it is correct to fix. Like if I were to let's fix that. Let's just stick to the let's stick to the example for now. We'll get to that later. Anyways, so this is okay. This is our command footer. I'm gonna change that. Commands is a more proper name for it. Would have to need to would have to change the rest and graphics commands, that is. So if you're just joining me or haven't seen previous sessions, we kind of abstracted out this render very unique pointer that is handling our deleter and our construction as well. So we're just like, this is the syntax for it, not that, but here. This, for example, is the syntax. Yeah, that is it. We're just telling it to that this is the render, and I want to add a semaphore. It will add the semaphore and it will delete it whenever that is this object runs out of the scope. So that is how it's been abstracted out for now. And I'm going to move these out as we saw in the example. It was not how it was done. That is going there. I'm gonna do a quick rename on these. They're going to be graphics command Q and graphics command pull respectively. And then I will need to pass these to these commands. So our graphics commands interface needs to be changed. I put these here because I've seen in the example that for each command they've instantiated one of these. So I'm just assuming that these are always used together, so there's no reason not to have them in the same object right here. Anyways, I believe command descriptor is what we're going to get as inputs. So const command descriptor. Alright, I'm just gonna pass it here. And I'm gonna copy this down here. Let's use our proper names. I do not like the format of this code really. It is so confusing. It is literally so darn confusing. The format of this code really. I have no clue what is going on here. Like, if it was like so. Okay, I know what is going on here, but let's see. Can I actually change the format on this? One other thing is I don't know how to make Visual Studio to format this. I don't see the format document option here, which should be here. That is where it is in Visual Studio Code. That is just intuitive. I'm right clicking on the document and I'm supposing that there will be a format document here. Yeah, it isn't here. Anyways, so I'm making 3 commands here. Now the code is just like the one we have here. Not here, of course, but rather, where was that? Here. So they're adding a single queue and a single command, and then they're creating multiple commands here. So one queue, one pull, several commands. That is how it's going on here too. One queue, one pull, several commands. Anyways, let's firstly compile this and see if everything is alright. It didn't compile. Why is that? we do not have render. We should be passing this instead of render. We had render there. Just copy paste that code. Another error, queue is undeclared. Of course, we renamed the queue. One more. What is it? Illegal member initialization commands is not a base member commands. Yeah, we changed the name of that as well. What did we name it? Name it graphics commands. Alright, that code compiled and worked. Let me just fix these. I'm gonna look for a proper format on this code later on. Off stream, of course, because I'm not going to waste the stream time for such thing. And yeah, we just got a secret board on closing. Our resource loader is loading stuff and not freeing it, so we're causing memory leaks there, and the engine is catching that. So if we were to, let me see, how can I actually cause it to show me where the error was raised? Let's try maybe. Okay, yeah, here. Some allocations were not freed before destruction of the memory block. So that is because we are loading textures using the resource loader and we are not removing them. Anyways, enough of that. What we need to do is to add our provide the add swap chain here. So if I were to implement the add swap chain interface to my render, what it would need would be this handle there, pgraphics queue. We have it. We don't need to provide that as input. These should be our inputs. So 1, 2, 3, and we have that. That's it. That's all we need for a swap chain. However, I'm not sure if I should be providing an add swap chain interface because there's certainly only one swap chain per render. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm going to go with that design. So what I'm going to actually do here is same as the rest of the code. We could go for constructing a swap chain at each as construction, but they are deferring the swap chain to the load function here. So add swap chain is being initialized at load function and probably initialized at onload function here. So that is to be aware of. So my interface is probably going to be initialize swap chain. So that is going to initialize my swap chain right there. I'm returning a void. Maybe I will return a boolean like the example does. Maybe not. Who knows? Those interface changes are not difficult. They are not going to cause us any later on uh, any overheads later on. So we can like simply change our interfaces whenever we need. Anyways, this is going to be a swap chain. Is that the type for that? Swap chain? Yeah. So swap chain. And it is going to be remove swap chain as its deleter, I believe. blah blah, and it's going to be our swap chain. So as we discussed, our initialized swap chain, that this function, it is going to take some inputs. And what are those inputs? One is window handle. So window handle. All right. I believe it's a pointer. I don't like have it as a pointer, but why not? Anyways, let's just go with it. Maybe I could get a reference for that. Yeah, I will do the I will just turn the pointer to reference and reference to pointer. It's not going to cause me any runtime performance, so why not? And yeah, one reason that I'm using a reference here, no one can come and tell me that this reference could be null. You could not pass me a null reference. That is by default an error, you passing me a null reference. We don't have null reference. A reference is an alias. So if I have a reference to some object, that object definitely exists. So if you're passing me a wrong reference, that is your problem. I'm kinda take it. I'm not trying to take any responsibility. So that is just me avoiding the responsibility to check the pointer. So the caller has the responsibility to check and see if the pointer is actually valid. And what else do we need? We need height, width. That's all. Which is going to be std integer. I don't know what I should use here. I'm going for size t. For most users that you're going to that are going to represent a count, size t is probably your best friend there. So our width here is the count of pixels we have on our width. Of course, I'm going to get some narrowing conversion warnings. I will be doing the casts right here inside. Height, is that how you? No, no. Is this how you how you spell that? Yeah, I spelled it right. All right. I am not good at spelling. I tell you guys, I am no good at spelling. All right. Anyways, take that. Put it right here. Swap chain descriptor. I'm just gonna change the naming convention inside my renderer. This is the naming convention I am used to. So if I were to actually merge this into the main code base, I would actually need to redo all the namings. Maybe that was not the smartest move, but for now it speeds up my development. That is our window handle. Present queue count is 1 and queues. So I would need to do this. So we'll get to that later. Let's finish this. I'll show you why there's a problem right there. We have a small problem that can be easily fixed, which I am not going to fix. Right now I'm just going to get it to compile. Image count, where is that? Oh no, that is not what I meant. This is swap chain. Alright, and add swap chain. We're not going to use that interface, rather we are going to construct this swap chain. And the way we're going to do that is just pass the unique footer. I'm just trying to copy paste it. I'm not writing all this. There should be ways to avoid these copy pasting. There are lots of copy pasting. So, for example, this copy pasting here, this could be easily fixed if we had C++17, but we don't. Anyways, that is going to get our renderer, put a reference to our renderer. Render put it, yeah, that is it. Get, there goes that, and add swap chain. And then our swap chain descriptor. Alright, that should just work fine. Okay, so this initializes our swap chain. I could easily provide the initialized swap chain. And that is going to simply reset this. Alright, I believe we okay, yeah. This issue, we just postponed it for now. So this is going to take a pointer to multiple queues, or is that a single queue right there? Our queue count is 1. Alright, anyways, this is going to take a pointer to some queue. Our queue is a unique pointer here. There's our queue. This is our queue. It's a unique pointer. And I wouldn't be able to get a pointer to that to the pointer inside that unique pointer. So what I would need to do is do const auto graphics command queue footer. I should have put a footer here just to actually so that's a better name because it just tells you that it's a unique footer rather than just some object. Okay, looks fine. And I will need to graphics command footer copy. Get command Q. I'm going to pass a reference to that. And hopefully this is const, which is not. Maybe it shouldn't be const. Oh, it should be. It should. I might not be able to write const this queue itself, but I'm pretty sure the pointers are going to be const. Why would that need to modify my pointers? Go on with that. Let's get a compilation and see if it actually compiles. And of course, yeah, of course, after that many modifications, I would need some compilation. There is no property default constructor available. But alright, alright. You are right, sir. You are correct. So the problem with this, let me get to it. Our render where unique pointer. Where is it? That is our render where unique pointer. So you can see that this is that right there is the syntax for constructor, and it of course does not have a default constructor because it needs a renderer. But yeah, but the current constructor has to create an object, so you can see that it is actually creating an object here. However, I don't want to create an object sometimes, for example now, so I'm going to initialize it with null putter. Null putter, and that is my deleter. This should be just fine. Alright, and I'm going to I'm getting connection issues. I hope this works. I don't know. I have 40% frame drops. Let's see, I'm hopeful. I hope this works. Anyways, renderer add swap initialize swap chain. I'm going to do that. Okay. And I would need to give it the window handle. P window handle. I don't know what that P window is. I think that's a member of that is a member of IAF. Well, why am I putting that here? Okay, so gonna pass that as a. This is actually not a pointer. So that is useless here. I shouldn't be getting a reference to that. Our window handle is not a pointer. And width and height, which are going to be M settings with M settings high. So that those M settings are also part of the IApp. Alright, that should be just fine right there. So that is going to initialize my swap chain. Let's try to run and compile this. Alright, we have compilation errors. I'm missing a semicolon. Of course I am. I should fix that. Swap chain, you cannot assign a variable that is constant. What variable is constant here? Oh, oops, oops. My bad, indeed. And that compiled, let's see if it runs. It didn't compile. Oh, yeah, we have plenty, narrowings here that we promised we would use static cast on. So what the compiler is just saying me is that you are converting size c, which is a larger integer than uint32, to uint32, and what I'm saying here is that I explicitly want to do so. So don't bug me on that. I know what I'm doing. That is what that static cast is telling me. Attempt to reference a deleted function. Trying to reference the deleted function. Is that because of this? Let's comment that and see. Yeah, that is because of that. Is that telling me that is this causing a copy here? This shouldn't cause copy. I'm constructing one, so this is an R value, and this should be a move right here. Let's explicitly move this. Nope, there's something wrong with this. Oh, the deleter, it's moving the deleter. It's copying the deleter, which is ah, oh yeah, CPU. How do we deal with that then? Hmm. So what is happening here is that this std move here, it is trying to assign my deleter. My deleter is not assignable. It has a reference inside it, which makes it not assignable. I could use a reference wrapper maybe. Maybe that could work, but alright, I think my connection is fixed, and let's continue. Alright, so yeah, the problem here is that my deleter function is not assignable. I'm gonna look into using student reference. I could easily make that uh, I could make that one a pointer. I don't want to make it a pointer though. The reference wrapper is the way to go, I guess. So what a reference wrapper is, let's see some examples of that. So there's our reference wrapper. It takes that is possible implementation. I don't want to see that. Here is the reference wrapper, and shuffle. I don't care about shuffling. Get access to stored reference. So I would need to write a get every time. Let's use it. Let's use it. Why not? Let's try to use it and see if it actually works. So that would be a reference wrapper. Uh, of course, I'm going to use ESTL reference 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 wrapper of render. Is that going to work? Let me include as well. I believe I should be including functional. That did compile. That was easy. That was easy, yeah. Of course, we are still not we're not freeing all the memory that we are allocating using the using our what is that? Using our resource loader. Anyways, I've got our swap chain to work. So we have a swap chain here on. Maybe I should. Maybe I should throw. I don't know. Let's throw. Let's throw. Sudo swap. If not swap chain. I believe I can do that. We're going to throw an exception here. We did this once. That is very good. We did that. Failed to initialize swap chain. That seems like a good error message. Alright, we didn't throw anything, so it should be alright. And that is just telling me that we still are not freeing our resources that we got from the resource loader. But that is fine. We haven't yet abstracted out our resource loader, so yeah. So that is that. That is that for today, I guess. That is straight hour of coding. Should be enough for today. And yeah, I guess we'll pick it up tomorrow. So see you next time.